Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War Live Battlecast. In this particular game, it looks like my opponent may be playing Bretonia. Not sure yet, but that's what it looks like at the moment. So let's go ahead and give it a second to see who he decides to play before we choose our faction. So, yeah, actually, I really have not been enjoying the Beastmen lately. I've been trying so much to make them work, and it just has not been clicking for me, guys. So it looks like he is going to play the Empire, so definitely a tough matchup. The Empire is definitely probably the best faction. I don't know, vampire counts are pretty good as well, but let's go ahead and play some Greenskins. That should be fun. I feel like Greenskins versus Empire is just a very fun matchup. So we're gonna go ahead and get an Orc War Boss. We'll probably put him on his War Pig. I feel like that's a decent choice. We'll get 2 Goblin Big Bosses with the poison. And when it comes down to the Demogryph fight, because inevitably you probably will bring Demogryph Knights, being able to apply poison in conjunction with the Orc Warboy Biggins is very, very strong in that matchup. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll get 2 groups of Black Orcs to deal with Greatswords. You don't need too much more than that. We'll get some Biggins as well. Very good choice. Just excellent at cutting through Spearmen, Halberdiers, and are even not terrible against Greatswords because they have pretty high weapon strength at 42, guys. So just something to consider there. Then we also probably want to get some Doom Diver Catapults. 1 is probably honestly fine. You might not need more than that. And okay, so we're at Oakenhammer. So this, I can't remember this map off the top of my head, but I'm going to get a Goblin Wolf Rider just for harass here. And let's see, what else do I want to get? Do I want to get the missile version, the Forest Goblin? Yeah, let's go ahead and get that. Let's just make my microing situation that much more stressful. We'll get this. We're actually going to cut some Biggins here to get some Night Goblin Archers just to apply poison to the valuable targets. Oh, and I almost completely forgot. I almost didn't get my Wizard here. That would have been unfortunate, guys. So we'll get the Orc Shaman with the Big Wah. We're going to get rid of the kind of weird clunky, Edbutt, Brain Buster, all those type of things, and make sure to put him on his lovely War Pig. All right. Is he on it? I feel like it's not registering the funds. You guys see that? It's actually not registering the funds. That is a weird thing. All right, so he's probably, unfortunately not going to be on his mount. That's happened to me a few times, and it's definitely kind of annoying, but it is A-okay, guys. We are going to endure, and we should be fine. So let's just get another Goblin Wolf Rider just to be that much more annoying. Put a Chevron in it, and all right, guys, I think we're ready to party. Yeah, we got the spells, and there we go. In the spirit of the Greenskins. Hopefully my opponent isn't on a laggy internet connection over there. That's the one issue, actually, with BattleCast, guys, is I try and shoot so many of them. It's one of my favorite formats to do because I feel it gives you guys a really interactive perspective on the gameplay itself, whereas the traditional commentaries, you can't really see what the micro management details are. So okay, so this is a decent map for Vanguard deployment, I suppose. I can kind of be out here in the wings and hopefully have some success there. So we're going to put the lads in the front. We're going to put probably the Biggins in the secondary line because most people don't put Greatswords in the front line. So the Black Orcs can kind of sit in the wings here and can plug in when they are needed. So that is fine. And of course, like I was mentioning, it didn't give me my mount. And you guys saw that. That was kind of weird, wasn't it? Go ahead and put them here. And as far as the Goblin lads, the big bosses, I like to put them with my Cav nowadays. That's what I've been experimenting with, and I feel like it's pretty strong because they really help. Against Demogryph Knights, you just send in a Goblin Big Boss first, and then use a Potion of Toughness, and it mitigates a lot of the damage they bring to the table. So put the Orc War Boss with the main army. I may detach him, depending on the circumstances, but I think I'm going to keep him with it for now. We'll put the Night Goblin Archers back here. All right, so now we're getting down to business. We'll put the Doom Diver right here, which is fine, and now I got these guys. So I got to just kind of, more often than not, I've actually found, and I've made the mistake myself, I don't always look at the mini-map up in the corner, so sometimes deploying these guys off on the wings, even though there's nowhere to really hide them, I mean, you can kind of piddle with it a little bit, but to be honest, I can go back here, but he's gonna see that, and that makes him even more out of position, because if he does react and they're back there, it's very likely they'll get caught. And we'll put the Forest Gobos, we'll put them kind of in their own separate magical group here. You know what? I can actually put them with this group, and then they can apply poison to the targets as well. So let's go ahead and put him in group 2. And all right, guys, we're sitting pretty here. And put him in 3 and him in 4. Great. So I got a nice little tab system going on. So we're going to go ahead and get the Doom Diver Catapults kind of scooting up here. And it looks like my opponent is playing a little bit of a Helm's Deep playstyle, which is totally fine. What is this thing? Is this a Temple Hoff? Oh, it's a Luminark. All right, and what does he have over here? Empire Knights and Demogryph Knights. All right, so we're just going to kind of run across, and hopefully hopefully these goblins can actually close the distance here. This might actually be really good. And you can see it looks like he might turn and run here with that. Uh-oh. Hopefully he doesn't one-shot anything. You guys probably remember that game where I one-shotted the Helm Gorst. What is he? Oh, he shot a Goblin Big Boss? I am totally fine with that. Man, this guy, he's in the wrong neighborhood, guys. And it looks like he is going to get caught out here. And if he does try and bring this Karl Franz over here to help out, it's going to end up being a pretty bad situation for him. So we're going to ride these goblin lads up and around there. You guys see that nice little formation. Karl is getting there, but guys, the goblin big bosses will be there shortly. So we're going to go ahead and use Slippery here and just keep pressing. We want to get them there as fast as possible. And, you know, honestly, I can even get them on Karl here. So we'll put the 2 goblin big bosses. And keep in mind, guys, they do apply poison. So that's going to be really strong. And once the big heavy hitting greenskins are able to get there, it's going to be a pretty good situation for me. So we'll pull back, see if I can actually cheese out Karl here. It's going to be pretty good because remember, guys, Karl cannot heal. So any damage he does take is going to be really devastating. So we're continuing to pressure with our little skirmish force. And these guys are actually doing good. You can see they're poisoning Karl. So we're going to pull back just a little bit. And actually, you know what? Let's fight these Demogryph Knights. So we'll get the goblin big boss in here. And you see the goblin, he actually broke the charge of those guys. So that was pretty good here. And if my shaman is in range here, we might be able to reach him with an Ere We Go, which would actually be pretty good. And we are. So he's going after these guys, so we want to pull them back. And they are faster than Empire Knights, so we'll do a big circle lap there. Oh, it looks like they are getting caught out there. Sometimes the pathing's a little funky on those guys. But you can see, guys, those Demogryph Knights got absolutely run over. So great situation here. We'll just continue to be annoying here with these goblins in the back. And all right, so continue to advance here. Yeah, very well played over there. He did shut me down. So we'll pull over here, and hopefully we can finish off these guys and just kind of ignore those Demogryph Knights there. That would probably be fine, and these goblins are going to do a pretty good job. He's trying to chase it with Karl, but you can usually path through that. So, all right, let's keep going, guys. Let's get to that front line. It's the Great March, and those Empire Knights are running for their dear lives. So that is fine. So I'm actually going to reposition here. Oh, and it looks like he had some Free Company militia in the back. That's kind of cool. So we'll turn and poison them here. And that should be all she wrote for those militia. So we're going to advance our main force here. We'll get the biggins on the lower tier infantry, and we'll position the Black Orcs behind here, move the boss here, and all right, great. So these Free Company militia are about to get their world rocked. That is most certainly for sure, and it looks like he is continuing to punish those poor goblins here. Oh, and it looks like he did get a luminark hit here also. So just in case, I'm going to use the buff a little preemptively because I don't know how long, you know, he's going to last because he is being focused by the luminark. Goblins got back here and did some pretty substantive damage. We'll actually pull the Black Orcs over here, and this group can kind of sit here in the wings and serve as a screen. Oh man, my shaman he's routed off. He's just being targeted by that luminark, so very, very tough situation. So Free Company militia have already been shut down, so let's go ahead and pull them over here. The big boss, we want to move him here and get him nice in the center here, and let's pull our cav over here to support. So these guys are going in the rear, which is fine. So now I can kind of collapse on him, which is good. And I do have the Bigger and Ardor buff, which is going to be pretty strong here. You can see he used the Wah in conjunction with my opponent's timing, and he actually did get some Demogryph guys. But the Demogryph Knights, they definitely fall victim to the poison. It is so good against them. If you go ahead and take a look, see if we can get their stats here. So you can see their stats got lowered quite a bit. And that poison here is actually generating some good value as well. So let's detach a group here, pull the lads back just a little bit. Great. So in the front line, things are going well. He did invest in like a lot of kind of funny business, as I like to call it. Let's go ahead and take a look. We don't want my Orc War boss to get caught out of position. We'll keep him with the troops here. And my Orc Shaman, he's still doing okay. So we'll go ahead and use the Fists of Gork up here. And in the back, it's going well. The Night Goblin lads are doing pretty good. And the 2 groups of Cav have been engaged relatively effectively. Use those Potion of Toughnesses. Yeah, that's a good thing I checked. I was kind of forgetting about that, to be honest. So we got to continue to push through. Sometimes you'll get caught up on like a few units, but you remember, you always want to kind of be pushing through to those high value units in the back, especially when they're using something like a Luminark. So let's actually just path back there. We can use some biggins here to turn around and fight those Empire Knights, which is going to be a good use for them. Great. So far, I think it looks like we cleaned up the cavalry fight. So now we can run up and around there and just continue to have these Night Goblin lads poison these guys, and that should keep them off the battlefield. But actually, let's move them up here. Use the shaman here, and so far, so good. Great. So we'll pull around here, continue to advance through. We'll at least get them on the missile troops here, which will be pretty strong. Oh, and it looks like my Orca... Oh, the Luminark must have just one-shotted my lord. Man, what a stressful situation, huh? All right, so let's go ahead and get Karl here. We'll focus him. I was like, 1 second I look away, and my lord is just getting freaking owned. All right, so we're going to shoot a missile attack at Karl here. Hopefully it can generate some good value. And I do have the Goblin Big Bosses as well. So let's get them on Karl. That poison might be able to finish him, actually. All right, we got these guys on the Empire Knights. We got some Black Orcs still fighting here, doing a pretty good job. And let's go ahead and push through to that Luminark, guys. We got to shut that down, man. I've not been respecting that thing enough. And it's doing some pretty devastating damage here. So we'll go here and here, here, and get these biggins back in the action. All right. So far, so good. Get these Black Orcs engaged here and get this Goblin Big Boss on the Luminark. Great. And to see where the other one is, he's fighting right here, which is fine. I don't mind him being engaged in that respect. And do we have any goblins? We'll get these guys here. And it looks like he does have some handgunners over here. What are these guys? Free Company Militia? All right, so that's fine. I should run those guys down really quick. And get these guys back in the fight here. And these Black Orcs are doing pretty good as well. And you can see, I think that Goblin Big Boss did kind of get taken off his mission, but we'll go ahead and use Slippery there, and that should get him through. Continue to push the Black Orcs and other troops through here as well. Get these guys going. Man, that was scary. He killed my Big Boss there with, not my Big Boss, but my Orc War Boss with that particular, the Luminark of Hish. And man, that thing really devastated me. So we'll keep pushing here, and it looks like my Doom Divers actually may be able to get back online here, which would be pretty decent in the long run. So we'll go ahead and get these guys back in action. We'll have them start targeting Carl with their poison. And do I have this Goblin Big Boss? Can I like detach him and have him go after that Luminark? I got to start respecting that, guys. It's just taking out all my leadership. And he's doing a pretty good job like repositioning his forces to protect it. All right, so let's get this guy going here, and we'll have them do a rear charge here. And come on, get on that guy. Finish it. We got the Biggins continuing to fight. Karl Franz is still putting up a great fight. Very, very good use of Karl. And I do have some troops coming back here as well. So let's go ahead and get these guys coming. Everything matters at this point, you know? It's very important. So the Doom Diver's back online. We'll have it continue to shoot these Empire Knights. Actually not a terrible choice with the heat-seeking capabilities. Put these guys in skirmish mode. Have them continue to work on Karl here. And I think we got to just collapse right here. Try and finish off this last pocket of resistance he has. And all right. So, and then get the Goblin Lads going over here. Karl's going to be very good right now at chasing down a few of my kind of reserve units. And oh, looks like they got caught up on some spearmen who came back from route as well. So I think the Luminark may have met its end of days. How's this Doom Diver doing? Is it firing yet? Doesn't look like it. We can actually have it shoot at Karl. That'll be pretty funny. All right, guys. So far, so good. This is a great battle it's turned out to be. Man, very well played on my opponent's part. Finally, the foul Luminark is slayed. That thing was just a terror this game, guys. My goodness. So we're going to get the Goblin not Wolf Riders, but Spider Riders. And we want them to like get with my army so then they can harass Karl Franz. While you can see the Doom Divers actually making contact there. So all right, so let's try and get Karl here. We'll get the Night Goblin Archers shooting at him. That poison would be very essential in winning this matchup. Because, you know, look how low most of my troops are, guys. It's not the prettiest situation. And we'll get these guys, these Biggins, have them go ahead and chase here. And you can see the Goblins here are poisoning old Karl while he's taking Doom Diver fire. That's so great. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go collapse the last of his units here. And it looks like he is landing. So I'm A-okay with that, guys. You can see a lot of my units are shaken from army losses as well. So doing a pretty good job chasing those guys down. And the poison from the Spider, too, may be able to keep Karl down. I'm not sure. We'll see. And I do have some Orc Boars who came back from route. And uh-oh, he's getting those spearmen. I think he picked up on the sense of urgency there. So we'll get these Orc Biggins back. And you can see Karl can't get away from the poison, guys, because the Wolf Riders excuse me, the Big Boss is really fast, but he does turn around and actually route it off. Man, if I kill Karl, I think most of his army will rout. So I gotta get him here. This is just 100% essential to the outcome of this. And you can see the power bar is actually relatively even, so come on, guys, keep firing in there. Break him. Break him. It's like the Russian in Rocky IV. I must break you. And it looks like he is shaken now, but he is able to take flight once more. All right, so got to keep pressuring him, guys. I can't let Karl get his bearings back, and thankfully this Big Boss did come back as well. Let's go ahead, my Orc Boar Boy Biggins, and we'll just stick them on those missile troops over there. These Black Orcs should just instantly crumple these guys. And it looks like, so he's just shaken. So he'll be back, guys. He's not out of this by any means. So we don't want to lose these missile units here. And it looks like I did get some of these guys back. So we'll send these guys to deal with those. Great. All right, so now we're back in action. We'll go ahead and continue to shoot at Karl Franz, and we'll send those guys on the missile troops there. And the Black Orcs, I kind of want to keep everyone relatively together. I feel like that's going to be really important. And it looks like those units broke. And Karl is shaken. Oh man, these lads are doing some great work, guys. I can't complain today. So let's go ahead and kind of get ready here. And it looks like he is diving in. Going to try and finish off my Black Orcs, so then maybe he can isolate my other troops. So we'll do this. But Black Orcs are a very, very tough unit, guys. They're resilient, and they're not going to go quietly into the good night. So these Biggins are able to rout those guys off. So let's pull them over here. Man, what a battle. Very well played. I did not respect that Luminark, guys. That was a huge mistake. I was just kind of like laughing at it and thinking that it wasn't going to be effective. But my War Boss, I don't think I even got to use the potion. And maybe you guys can point out, like, because again, you can see my action bar, and I'm not, paying attention at all times. But I suppose I just didn't expect him to get run down that quickly. So looks like these guys are out. So pretty much all he has left here are these guys who are gonna meet their end here shortly. So we'll give you guys a nice cinematic view of these Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Oh, it looks like we just barely missed out, but you can see they're here. Man, great game. That was a lot of fun. And he had some interesting builds too. He had the Free Company militia who came out of the back, and though they got run over, you guys saw they actually came back at the end and were harassing me. So my Orc Robust got absolutely dumpstered. He did a great job microing Karl Franz, was very excellent with using his spearmen, repositioning them, and kind of doing that Roman style of tactic where when the front line gets tired, they pull back in exchange, and very cool. The Luminark did good. You guys saw it chunked down my big bosses. It chunked my Orc Shaman. It chunked my Orc Warboss. So again, great game to my opponent Firestorm. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that game. Have an excellent night, and take care.